I really hope that you're going to take this call and you are going to give it legs, meaning that it's something that will become so important to you that you will do it every single day, the things that we're going to learn here, and it'll become your new life mantra, because why not? Like, you learn all this amazing stuff in this business of how to change your life. Why not implement it? And stop saying like, I'll do that later. That works for some people, not for me. Well, guys, if it works for some people, why not make it work for you? The only reason why it doesn't work is you don't do the work, right? So get your notes out. Think of the people in your mind that you want to influence for the better and that may need to listen to this call, and you can share the playback with them later. And we're going to rock this thing out. I want to do 2 last announcements really quick, and then I'm going to turn it over to our star of the night. We got the email, the Diamond newsletter, announcing the challenge packs for next month. It looks like they're going to stay the same, which is good because they're good ones, and it's really helping people. Always lead with your story and their goals. Don't post a Beachbody program saying these are on sale, last chance to get them on sale, because when you do that, it's making you look cheap. Instead, talk about what's happening with you or somebody you know and share their story, and then follow up with the people that like or comment and just simply start a conversation like, hey, thanks for liking my post. Made me think of you. How are things going? How was your summer? And just start talking to them. Okay? And then when you get there, you can then help to match them into a program. Also, we have the health bet, and the health bet is an awesome way to start conversations with people and get them to work out with you. I've got my health bet thing up and running now. I'm adding my people. We're going to kick it off, on the 5th. It's going to be awesome, you guys, and I hope you're taking advantage of that. If you don't know how to use it, guess what? You can learn. You're smart. So just go into the online office, figure it out. Simply click the buttons. if I can figure it out, so can you. And then the last thing is, it is important that you hit Success Club. It is important that you hit Success Club. Who believes me on that? No one? Who has Success Club points on the board? Type it in the comments, please. And then what's your goal? You have until Wednesday. So here's what you want to do. You want to get Success Club 10. And here's why. Every time I get Success Club 10, I get leads, for being paid above an emerald, and then I get the Success Club 10 leads. And so if I personally get to 6 or 8 every month, Beachbody sends me customers, and then I always get 10 again. So get to 10 and keep that going. Right now I'm at 14. And it's not because I am spending 50,000 hours inviting people. That's not what I'm doing. I'm posting about my personal story and reaching out to other people and seeing how they're doing and inviting them and following up with people about the health bet, saying, hey, you're kind of into this fitness stuff. Thought you might want to check it out. And then I did do a boosted ad on my health bet post. You can go to my Healthy Emma page and see what it looks like. And I boosted it for $10. And I sold 2 challenge packs from that one and signed 2 coaches. So if you want to talk more about that later, that's fine. But you need to hit Success Club. And all that is that you're going to help at least 3 people get started on their fitness program. And I know you know 3 people that need this in their life, okay? So just start thinking about that and have the guts to follow up. Yeah. With love. Okay. So, no, it's not your turn tonight. Gabe wants to share that he's starting a YouTube channel about healthy kids, which is very cool, but we'll do a call on that another day. Alrighty, so tonight Veronica is going to talk to us about manifestation. Is that what you called it? A vision board creation and affirmations. Affirmations. This is so huge, you guys. I love this. It's like the roadmap for success. I love Veronica's approach to life, basically, because it's all about, she doesn't back down from a goal. She's not afraid to be bold with what she's wanting and then follow it up with fierce action. She's a busy mom. She has 4 kids. Her husband has business. He's a health coach or something. It's similar to what we do. It's really cool because they kind of mirror each other. And She also is very involved in her community, and yet she makes this a priority just because she knows how important it is. The thing I love about Veronica, though, is I've watched her start off being a little shy in the business and then see it kind of click for her to find her voice. And when you find your voice, this becomes so much more fun. But Diamond Coach Veronica Benson, take it over.
Okay, thanks. I hate hearing about myself. I know it's something I need to like work on and be like receptive to compliments. Christy, you know what I'm talking about. But tonight, I just wanted to share what I learned from a class that Christy and I went to. Christy is one of my coaches, and I actually wanted her to kind of open our call tonight and just share kind of her journey, like just a little bit about her story with her and her husband, but also how they use vision boards together before we can and get into everything else. Christy, you unmute and just give us, kind of a rundown of who you are and, how you've been doing with all of your workouts and with using a vision board for you and Nate, your husband. Christy, I saw her. Okay, maybe she's not on. Okay, if she comes back, I will grab her. Okay, but Christy is one of my coaches, and back in March, she texted me and she's like, I am at this amazing class. Do you want to come with me in a couple of months? And I was just like, sure. I didn't really doubt it, but I knew that it would be good personal development and maybe a good opportunity. So I just kind of was like, yeah, sure, let's go. And so we went 2 weeks ago, and it's really focused on using vision boards and affirmations, those positive statements that we tell ourselves to be able to use our minds and open up our positive thinking and be able this sounds weird, this bunch of voodoo, whatever. I thought the same thing when I started to hear about like energy work and the energy, what's coming back to us. And if you haven't read up a lot about this or you don't know much about, do a little bit of research and see what things are because they really do make a difference. But like I said, when I first heard about them, I thought it was nuts. I thought it was stupid. And I didn't give much thought to it. But the more I've learned about it and the more I see how either my negative energy or my positive energy, that it's such a big deal that we need to know this. And so tonight we're going to talk about using vision boards and affirmations to be able to use that positive mind. Good for our lives. So let me hop into my presentation. Share screen. Here we go. All right. And I'll jump out here, but you won't be able to see my face for a little bit. So just listen to my voice. Let me get in here. Okay, here we go. Okay, so we're going to be talking about using vision boards and affirmation, whatever you dream. Okay, so think back to when you were a kid. As kids, they don't have a lot of limiting beliefs. They don't often say to themselves, oh, I'm stupid, or I can't do that. Usually kids, before they get kind of impacted by friends and by the world, usually they're very open-minded, and they think of something they want to go do and they just go do it. Okay, so as adults, we start to gain those limiting beliefs that we tell ourselves, like I'm fat, or I can't do these things, I don't have enough energy, I don't have enough money. Okay, you've heard all these things before, and chances are a lot of people that maybe choose to not join you on your journey are saying those excuses as well, and we've probably used them. Okay, so tonight we're going to talk about ways to overcome those things and move past it. So one thing I want you to understand is that for things to change, I must change. For things to get better, I must get better. I realize there is a typo in there. But what you need to realize is that, if you want to create a life that you love, to make changes to yourself. It's not going to be changes that are small. These are probably big changes. But the good part about it is that you can work on it daily. And if you want things to get better, you must get better. Okay, so keep that in mind as we move forward. Just know that anything is available to you if you're willing to make changes and work for it. Okay. So tonight we're going to talk about our mindset. And as you can see on here, I've listed traits of successful people versus traits of unsuccessful people. And we're going to kind of go through these. But, I want you to realize that, you may see a lot of these that you've done. And if it's on the unsuccessful side, just know that they're not negative things. It's a way for you to work on something. Say, you know what, I used to do this, but I'm going to work on it and it's going to get better. And I'm going to be able to switch it over and start thinking more like a successful person. And I would also interchange the word successful with happy. I want to be a successful person, but I want to be happy. I want to live life to the fullest, okay? And that's what I think successful people do. Okay, so as we go down, think of some of the things that you do and some of the things that maybe you want to work on, okay? Successful people provide solutions. They give to others. Okay, the ones that I've starred are the ones that I'm trying to work on in my own life. Successful people see abundance. What I mean by that is that they see that, okay, there's enough money, there is enough resources, there's enough people for everyone to go around. There is enough. Okay, I want you to think that to yourself every day. There's enough. Okay, thinking of abundance. Vision and passion. Okay, I'm going to guess that most people have a vision, they've caught the vision, and you have a passion, or you wouldn't be here, because you wouldn't be spending your time doing all of this, if all you wanted was a good workout. Okay, it goes so much past that. Okay, forward in spite of fear. Okay, and that can be a really tough one if that's something you battle, which for me is. Successful people get out of their own comfort zones, which it's so easy to get into the comfort zone, right? We just get lazy, I think, at times. I know I do. I'll speak for myself. I get lazy. I think, I don't need to do anything else. This is just fine, but let's learn to turn those thoughts around. This is one that I so love. Okay, when I heard it, I just immediately connected with it. Successful people are victors by choice. I want you to think about that for a second. They're not victors because they worked hard, but chances are that they did work hard. But they chose that. They said, this is what I want to be. And they went out and that's what they were. Okay, so just know that you have a choice. No one is going to say, no, you can't do that. Although, people are going to tell you that. But you have to choose that. Choose whatever you're going to be. So one thing that I learned at this conference was that, every morning you get up and choose what you want to be. As in, choose the attitude that you want to have and the outlook on life, okay? And then you can write it down and look at it throughout the day, okay? So if you want to be happy, or you want to be thankful, or you want to be energetic, you write that down and think about it throughout the day and just say to yourself, I am happy, I am happy. Okay, and the more you say it, the more you start to believe it. Okay, one thing successful people do is they encourage others and they take the lead. Okay, now switching over to unsuccessful people, again, I don't want you to look at these things as negative. What I want you to do is think, okay, this is something I can work on, but I know that it can go from the unsuccessful side to the successful side. Okay. One thing that unsuccessful people do is they see scarcity, okay? And I'm just going to talk about it for a second, but this is a big one. Do you ever think in your mind that there's not enough of something, whatever it is? Have you ever thought to yourself, oh, I see other coaches' posts, and they're just going to steal the people that I'm trying to work with. My friend is a coach now. How are we going to compete? Okay. This is your mind in that scarcity mode, that there's not enough. Okay. And when we put out that kind of energy, that's what we get back, is that there's not enough. Okay, so let's try to turn that around. And instead of seeing scarcity, we see abundance. We see there is enough. There's enough for everyone. There's enough money to go around. There's enough food. There's enough time and energy. There's enough people to go around. Okay, but having that mindset instead. Failure. And I thought, oh gosh, have I done that? And I have, like you think of something and you automatically think, oh, I can't do that. You automatically write it off. Okay. You expect failure. Okay. That's what unsuccessful people do. So we're going to try to change that. They criticize or tear down. They live in their comfort zone. They wait to be told what to do. Okay. And I'm guilty of this at times. If you want to be successful, you need to take the lead. Stop waiting for someone to tell you what to do. This is your business. This is your life. Like, hey, let's put business aside for just a second. This is your life. If you want it to be good, then make it that way. No one else can do that for you. And that's what I've realized myself, is that I can't wait for anyone else to help me or to make it happen for me. I've got to do it.
I love that. I heard the quote today that said, so many people are waiting for their knight in shining armor. Be the girl that goes and picks up a sword. Like, save yourself.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. I love that. That's
I'm
so
here
true.
going like, amen. Yes.
Yeah. Quit waiting for your knight in shining armor. But yeah, I love that. Like no one else can make you, even if you have all the things in the world, all the money in the world, all the best people, like it's not going to matter unless you want that and you take it and grab hold of it. Okay. Let me jump back in full screen so you can see. Okay. So those are the things that unsuccessful versus successful. Okay. Now this was a big eye opener for me at this conference that I went to, and hopefully I can explain it so that it makes sense. But it was a huge aha moment for me, okay? This is obviously a picture of your brain, okay? Pretty simple. I'm going to explain a bit about the RAS, which is the reticular activating system. And this was something new I learned, and I'm still learning about, but it's something you should know because it's holding you back and you find a way to break through it, okay? The RAS is a system within our brain that receives input from all these different things. So from our eyes, from our ears, from things that we touch, okay? All these senses, okay? The RAS will receive those into our minds and then send those signals out to other parts of the brain. Okay? When you touch something hot, your brain says, your finger's burning, get your hand off there, okay? And so you take your hand off. Okay, so it's a way for our brain to protect our body and to protect ourselves. Okay, so that's the good thing about the RAS. Now, the not so great thing about the RAS is that when it receives new thoughts into our minds, that filter, as I'll call it, the RAS is like a filter. It'll receive those new thoughts and it will automatically reject those thoughts. Okay. And so when you think to yourself something new that you want to accomplish, maybe a goal you're working on, the first time you think about it, your brain is going to be like, no, you cannot do this. Don't even try. Okay. And it's partly because our brain is trying to protect ourselves, that chances are if you set a goal that you're going to have to work hard to achieve it, that you're going to have to make changes, and that sometimes change is hard. And so your brain rejects that thought. Okay. And it's going to do that every time. Okay. So you're saying, well, how do I get past this? Well, let me tell you. Okay, I refer to the reticular activating system as the filter. Okay, so it filters out all those thoughts. Well, the two ways to get past the filter, the two main ways, are repetition and intensity. Okay, so when we look at something like our vision board, or we say our affirmations daily to our minds, and the more we say it and the more we look at it, it starts to break down that filter when eventually those thoughts get past the filter. So when you say to yourself, I want to complete this program, okay, I want to do something really tough. At first, your brain is going to reject it, okay, and that's just how it works. But the more you say it to yourself and the more you look at something that represents that, the more it gets past that filter. And then finally, the filter is kind of like, okay, we will allow those thoughts to come into our mind, okay? So think about those things, those goals that you've written down or a vision board that you made at first. Did you ever want something and at first you automatically thought, nope, that is just so big. I can't get there. Okay. I want to give you an example. Last summer, I had only run up to about 6 miles. And my sister, who just had a baby in this past November, she was like, why don't we do a half marathon together? And I was just like, heck no, like I've only run up to 6 miles and that was pushing it. There's no way I can make it to 13 miles. And so that was my brain just telling me there's no way you can make this. And plus that's probably what I've always told myself is that's crazy to run that far. And so finally for Christmas, she signed both of us up for this half marathon and she's like, Merry Christmas. And I'm like, what the heck? Like now I have to do it because she's already paid for both of us to do this. Okay. And so we go and we do this half marathon in May. And I was just like kind of astounded that I actually made it through, even through being able to train and stuff. But once you accomplish that, your brain's like, okay, I see you made this goal and you made it happen. That is evidence of that you're achieving the things that you want to achieve. Okay. So we're going to talk about this a little later, but you are going to save that evidence because your brain needs to see it often. Okay, so that's one example of my evidence that I give to my brain is the things that I've accomplished already. I say, okay, I did this. Now I know I can do this, even though it's going to be hard. Okay, now let me jump back in full screen. Okay, now to unlock this filter and get past it, there's a few other tricks. Okay, one is seeing things, and this goes to our vision board, what we envision, the things that we want. Okay, so this, when we look at things over and over, it helps us get past that filter, okay? The second thing, saying things. This goes to our affirmations, the sentences that we're going to write down and we're going to say each day, okay? Again, it helps us get past that filter so we can convince our minds that it's possible and that we can do it. The third thing is that we're going to hear something and be able to connect that to what we're seeing and what we're saying. Okay, music is a big part. Think about if you see a commercial or you see, I don't know if that's me or not, but anyway, if you see a commercial and they add in music, there are commercials where people will just start crying, okay? Or videos that you see and you just start crying. And it's because of the so I don't have to focus on the words, but I can just focus on how the music makes me feel. And I can share that at the end if anyone is interested in kind of hearing it. But it's just something that just is like a banner. It's just like you're waving your banner proudly of whatever it is, but it's really inspiring, okay? The fourth thing, how to get past your filter, is to feel, okay? And you want to connect with the things that you want. And even if you can touch it, like if you want to go to the beach, maybe have a jar of sand and run your fingers through it, really be able to imagine it. That really helps because it gets past that filter once again, okay? Okay, so now on to creating a vision board. Now, I will totally admit that my knowledge of vision boards is fairly new. In the beginning of the year, I started to read The Miracle Morning, if anyone can see it. The Miracle Morning by Hal Elrod, okay? If you don't have it, it's definitely worth it if you need to get from the library or, listen to it on audio. But it was great because it really just made me come up with a good morning routine. But that's when I was kind of first introduced to how much a vision board can be to me, and how much affirmations are good. So go get that and read it. But really the science behind it is just that our brain is able to connect with things it sees, and that connection is stronger the more often it sees it, or the more often you say it. Okay, so the more often you say, I am beautiful, I'm strong, you're going to start to believe that. And the opposite is also true. So if you say, I'm fat, I'm ugly, the more you say that, the more you start to believe it. And I'm sure everyone has had experiences with that, okay? So creating a vision board is really simple. Out, okay, what is it I really want? It could be something physical. It could be a goal that you're trying to accomplish. It could be almost anything you want, really. Okay, and then you're going to place those pictures or words on a board. Now, it could be as simple as like literally taping a picture up onto your wall. You don't have to have a fancy board. You do it fancy up in Photoshop and make it all look pretty. It doesn't have to be like that. It can be taping it on your wall. Just use painter's tape. So you don't rip off the paint. That was a good suggestion for me. Now, when going through your vision board stuff, this is what ones that I want to come up with. I did a vision in January, but now is a good time to reevaluate your goals, redo things, make things fresh. But he suggests doing something that you can accomplish or that you want, that you can get in the next 30 days, and something 3, 6, and 9 months. And then some is like that far out goal that, you know, your brain really just said that is no to the no, not getting that. Okay, so whatever it is, put those things down. And it doesn't mean that you have to accomplish in that frame, but it just gives you so once you've got it up, he suggests a square and writing it evenly. So like maybe 6, 9 boxes or 6 boxes, you know, something like that. And you can put something in each box. That's a suggestion. But look at it every morning and every evening for at least 3 minutes. And I didn't realize this, but when I heard him say, you know, evening is the most important, I was just like, I don't get that. Like, why? Who cares? I'm tired at night. I just want to go to bed. But he says, you know, evening is most important because as we go to sleep, part of our mind that is still going. And so when we look at the things that we want to achieve and we really give it energy, we will go to sleep, but part of our mind is still awake and it's able to work through those things. And it comes up with ways that you can achieve those things. And I really didn't think about it like that. I thought, I go to sleep, I maybe have a couple dreams, but that's not. If you have a pad of paper right by your nightstand, you know, if you wake up in the middle of the night or you wake up right in the morning, you know how you forget a dream like that. Well, the same is true for inspiration. So just write it down like really fast. But your mind will go to the next as you look at them. Okay, imagine yourself holding, smelling, feeling, hearing all parts of the experience, whatever you put on your board. Really, you're just trying to connect yourself to that thing that you're able to accomplish. Express your purpose for each item, just saying why it's important. And then think about what you will do when you have it and how thankful you will be when you accomplish that. I thought that was really great advice. You know, I hadn't thought about that, but really, if we can focus on being thankful, I think thankful is another attribute of successful. we've been blessed with. So the more you look at an attitude, the more you put that energy out. Chemo and big surgeries and all that. But toward the end, she started getting more into energy work, and our minds can start to, when we get into that positive state, can start to heal our bodies. And like I said, I just thought it was weird and I thought I was dumb. But I truly just didn't understand the power of our minds. So be open to those thoughts, and know that, if you think those things, whether good or bad, you can make them true. All right. So let's see. Hold on. There's something I was going to say. Go back up. Okay. Oh, okay. Sorry. So share one experience. This just happened in the last 2 days, literally. So I was going through and I was redoing my vision board, and like I said, I had first of the year. And so it's time to kind of reevaluate where I'm at and what new things, and kind of apply this new thinking to my vision board and give it more thought. And one of the things over the last week, actually the last couple months, my computer has been giving me such troubles. I've never gotten like a hand-me-down from my dad, which I'm very grateful for. But it's super old now, and it just gives me a lot of hard time and eats up a lot of my time. And so I thought to myself, man, it would be so nice to get a new computer. And, I didn't even say in the next month. I was just like, you know what? In the next 3 months, I would like to be able to get a new computer. And so I put that on my vision board, and I've been thinking about it a lot and just thinking about, okay, this will work really well when I get it and all this stuff. Okay, 2 things happened in the last 2 days, actually. One, I don't know that some of you know I'm a professional photographer and I do weddings and stuff. I haven't been doing that as much in the last 2 years because I've been focusing really on coaching. But I still love to do it, and I still try to keep up my skills. So, one, I had a girl call me the other night and was like, can you come help me on Thursday for like 6 hours? And, I'll pay you and all that stuff. And I was like, yeah, that'd be great. And I love to do it anyway. And so there was half my money that I needed for a computer. And then last night, a girl contacted me through my website for my photography again. And she was like, I'm looking to do family pictures. And there was the other half that I needed for my computer. And so right those days, I was able to get the money that I needed. I haven't yet, but I will soon. But get the money that I needed for a new computer. And when I say I need, I mean that it's a good investment for my business. I honestly, I'm still kind of shocked that it happened that quick, but you never know how things are going to come to you. It may not be in the way you thought, but if you're focusing on trying to come up with solutions, the energy will flow back to you. Okay. And so no, did I get 10 new coaching clients? Well, not yet, but I was able to get that thing off my vision board through another way. So what I'm saying to you is be open to the things around you and how you'll be blessed in different ways. And, one thing I didn't think about vision boards, but, about in this class was just that a lot of times your vision board items will come to fruition because of someone else. Okay, maybe you meet someone and they're like the content that you really needed to doing. Or, maybe someone was selling something and you were like, yeah, I've been looking to buy that one thing, One example he and be able to take him on that. And so he had that on his vision board for a while. And one day he had a friend contact him and was like, I just went on this fishing trip to Alaska and we stayed in this cabin and they took us out to all these great places. And he's like, if you ever want the information, let me know. And this, like, yeah, I want to know all your information. But sometimes we just don't realize how things will come to us. And so just to be open to that. Okay, so I thought I'd show it. I don't know what those yellow lines are, but it is what it is. Okay, so here's my vision board created earlier in the year. Okay, but I was going through and I'm in making some changes. Okay, so if you've done one already, great. If you need to make changes, do so. But put things on there that inspire you. Maybe they're words, maybe they're things you want to, attributes that you want to be, positive traits or goals that you want to meet, whatever it is, and then work toward it. And like I said, you don't need to create it like this. Like it can be as simple as printing off a picture and taping it to your wall. Like that's simple. It doesn't need to be like this. So don't think that, oh, it's got to be all pretty in Photoshop. It does. Okay, so this is my new one. Okay, so I thought this was kind of cool. I bought this, it's like a home decor piece. Just like probably a year and a half ago, and it wasn't for a vision. It just, I had put maybe a couple pictures on there, but over the last 6 months, it's just been sitting behind my couch because I moved some stuff around, so it hasn't even been hanging on the wall. But the other day I realized, oh my gosh, like I already have this great vision board thing, and I can just go like push stuff on it, and it's already ready. Okay, so just look around and see what you have. But I was like, yeah, okay, I already have it. But like, again, it doesn't have to be like this. It can be really simple. Okay, affirmations. A is for affirmations. Yeah, my daughter's in kindergarten, so. Okay, it's the repetition of affirmation that leads to belief. Once that belief becomes a deep conviction, things begin to happen. And this is by the great Muhammad Ali, who comes from my hometown city of Louisville. Yeah. Again, because why? We want to get past the filter that's there, the filter that's saying, no, you can't do that. And it's going to keep telling you that. Okay, so if you come back and say, okay, I tried this for a month and I've said it 1,000 times and still nothing is happening. Well, guess what? You really need to say it more. He suggests, the guy that I went to the class, he's like, I suggest that you get to 12,000 times. And I was like, holy crap. Like that's a lot of times. But isn't it so true? We're trying to undo thoughts that we've thought for years. So do you really think you're going to undo them in a month or less? No, we're not. So it's going to take time. But the more we say it, the more we start to believe it. Okay, self-talk.
Did he talk to you at all about like where to say it and when to say stuff, like how? Because I was doing some research on this, and I might be stepping in. Sorry, this popped in my head. But if you say it like as you're grumbling in your bed and you're tired and you're like, I am awesome. I'm going to do amazing things with my life. This is going to be awesome.
Yeah.
I have to say this.
It's
so different than if you stand and look at yourself in the mirror. You have to look at yourself in the mirror and have the physical has to match the verbal, and then it all ties together with the physiological, and it becomes part of you, and it changes. I know that's for me anyway. Like I would just rattle it off like it didn't work. So.
Absolutely. That makes a total difference. And if you don't, like if you're listening and you don't believe that makes a difference, like how you say it and how you're standing, try both ways and just see how you feel. But what he suggests, I'm going to stand up. I don't know if you can see me standing up, but he suggests like standing up, you're going to square yourself to the mirror, or if you're looking at your vision board, you're going to square yourself, chin up, and just be confident in what you're looking at. And I know sometimes like saying my affirmations, I'm really self-conscious of like who's in the house or even my husband. I don't know that you need to get into the practice of saying it out loud, believe, and also putting that music on while you're doing it makes a huge difference. And I'm gonna try to I'll find the music at the end if anyone wants to hang on, but like it makes such a big difference. So like Emma said, don't just stand there and be like, oh, I'm going to do amazing things. Like who cares? That's not going to do anything. Like if you're actually going to put energy into this, do it right, right? So get up there, say it, believe it, and say it over and over again. And when we went to this conference, like there was 1,000 people in this room, and he had us say these affirmations, and everyone was saying it. He had us say it over and over, and you had to like really believe it. He even had us sing them, and I felt like such an idiot. I was like, oh my gosh, I can't sing. But it's just getting yourself used to it. So yes, get up there and stand up and be confident in what you believe. If you need to go into the bathroom and shut the door and say it, fine, do it. And you'll see that over time it gets better. The other morning I went running, and the sun was just coming up above the mountains, and I stopped my watch, stopped my time. And I looked at the sunset or at the sunrise, and I just started saying my affirmations, and I was just like, oh my gosh, like this is amazing. But it makes such a big difference. Okay. So get in a spot that you're inspired by, and just go for it. But the self-talk that we tell ourselves every day, the things that run through our heads, when you're looking at your vision board and you get some of those things that run through that says you're not good enough, or there's just no way you can achieve it, what he suggests is writing it down and throwing away the paper. Because really it's just, you're trying to get them out of your mind. Everyone's gonna come up with those things because our filter's saying, no, you can't do this. And so you just need to get past it, but write it down and get rid of it. Okay, so either your self-talk is either hurting you or it's helping you. So that's the point of the affirmations. And then put them in writing, your affirmations. So don't just, you can memorize them and that is good, but sometimes it's really helpful to see those words and maybe even underline it or highlight it, whatever, so your brain will recognize it. Okay, so affirmations. What do you really want out of life? You're going to ask yourself these questions so you can write them. Why do you want it? You need to be able to connect with those things. So if you want to be a more passionate person, if you want to be a kinder person, happier person, whatever it is, like, why do you want that? You need to connect with it. Whom are you committed to being to get it? Are you committed to getting here to achieve your goals? Are you committed to doing your workouts? Are you committed to talking with the people? What are the acts that you're committed to doing to get there? And then what are the acts and who you're, so whom and what are you committed to doing? And then add in inspirational quotes, anything that speaks to you. So that's why I love personal development. So here's some of the affirmations that I say daily. This first one's a big one. I add value to other people's lives. Like, isn't that, like, don't we all want to feel that way? Don't we all want to feel like we are important, that we have value? You know, I add value to people's lives. I am a great and powerful listener. And these are some taken from his class, and they were just so good. I'm like, okay, I need to say these every day. But if you want to say these every day, go for it. This is a big one for me. I am a generous giver. Okay. I'm thinking of abundance. I have enough. I'm holding on to everything so tight that I don't have enough. Okay, I'm a generous giver and an excellent receiver. I influence others to find their truth. These are some I wrote. I am a loving, passionate, inspired person. I love my body and will work hard to be there for my family. I can help those around me be motivated. And I love this one. I wrote it in the beginning of the year, and I'm just like, oh man, that just fires me up. Today, I will make a difference. Everyone, I want everyone to say that. Today, I will make a difference. Like, say it out loud in your house right now. Go. I can hear you. Today, I will make a difference. And it doesn't mean that maybe it's not in your business. Maybe it is. Maybe you're going to make a difference to somebody else when you're out in the world. Yesterday, I was running my kids to school, and it's just 5 minutes down the road, but I got to take them every day. And I got down there, and I was driving back, and my daughter called, and she's like, I forgot my lunch, and we're going on this field trip, and I don't have it. I was like, oh my gosh, like, okay, I will run home and make your lunch, okay? But I was like, okay, I need to be in a better attitude, or this bad juju is going to come back to me. And so I made her lunch, and I was like, okay, I can take it back. So I took it back, and I thought, okay, this is good, you know, I take my daughter her lunch, whatever. So on my way back to the house, a friend called me, and this was at 8:30 in the morning. And I thought, she doesn't normally call me at 8:30. She must need something. And so I was going to let it go to voicemail, but I didn't, because I was like, she must need something. And so I answered, and she's like, I just locked my keys in my car. I need to take my daughter to preschool. Can you give me a ride? And so I was like, okay, yeah, I can give you a ride. And I try not to feel put out, because I want to get away from that thinking, because those are maybe past habits that I want to get away from. But I thought, okay, yes, I can help you. But when I say today I will make a difference, if you're going to say it, you better dang well be ready for when inspiration comes, when someone comes and knocks on your door and they need your help, because it will happen daily and you don't know when it'll happen. But if you're not ready, you won't be that person for them. And it doesn't matter how it happens. It could be your family, it could be a friend, it could be someone you don't know. But if you're not ready, you won't be the one to help them. So, all right. So the last few things I just wanted to talk about were we've been talking about getting past that filter. And so, when you stand straight and you look powerful and you say your affirmations and you look at your vision board, you're going to stand there and just own it. Okay. Music. And then also to get past that filter of our minds rejecting those thoughts is driving. So if you listen to podcasts in the car, he suggests that's a really great way, because your mind is focused on driving, so it lets things in easier. So that's just one thing, and I thought I would pass that along. But does anyone have questions? I'm just going to get out of this if I can. Okay, here we go. And I will try to pull up the music real fast. Let's see. But if you have questions, just unmute while I try to find this real fast.
Can I say something? I thought that was absolutely amazing. I'm so into, I listen to E Squared and E Cubed, and I've actually listened to them to 2 times over and over. And I carry, I don't know if you can see this feather around with me in my phone, because you're supposed to just start getting manifest.
I've been getting quite a few questions on how to keep track of your making all of these lists, and some of you are doing.
My bad. Go ahead.
Oh, is that just
No, you're good. It was a video. Sorry. Go ahead.
Just real fast. I was supposed to start manifesting small things, so I started manifesting feathers, and feathers are in my life like you would not believe. Every day I see millions and millions of, and this little tiny feather landed on my toe one day, and I was like, oh my God. I almost started crying. I was like, so I brought this to me with Summit, and I'm sitting at Summit having lunch with my coaches, and I was like, I have to meet Gary Vee. I have to. And I was like, I don't know how, but I have to. And then we come out of lunch, and we go walk back to our training, and there he's just standing there. And we all just start crying and crying. I'm telling you, you guys got to do this. It is so real. Things like, I was just like, I want to go to this concert so bad. I don't know how, but I want to go to this Boy George concert. And I'm like, I don't know, but I'm going to go. And I just put it out to the universe. I kissed it and I let it go. And my husband came home with tickets. Surprised me. This stuff works. What you're saying, it works. Do it, ladies. Do it. Do it. So thank you so much. Thank you.
I saw your picture from Gary Vee, and I was like, oh my gosh, how did she get him? That is so awesome. Oh. Does anyone else have questions or comments? If you've done your vision board, share with us what's worked for you. I'd love to hear it.
I did one. Okay, so it was my first year of going to Elite. When I started the year as a Ruby coach, and I had no idea what I was going to do, but I can't remember. I think Chelsea made me make a vision board, and I told Teresa that I was going to be a 7-star diamond that year. And I didn't know what a 7-star diamond meant. I just chose it because I like the number 7. Anyway, so I did it old school, with poster board and cut out magazine things and like put them up and stuff. And then I put physical goals, family goals, like all these different things on there. And as I signed, when coaches advanced to diamond, I'd write their name on it. Well, by the end of the year, I was a 5-star elite coach. And the diamonds, I mean, I missed 2 of them, but that's okay. But I got 5, and that's like we had 5 people advance on the team to diamond that year, which was just incredible, right? And then there's other things that were on the vision board that came true as well, because it was at the front of mind. It's kind of like if you're car shopping and you're looking at a red Volvo, all of a sudden you see red Volvo opportunities everywhere, right? Because that's where your focus goes, and where your focus goes, that's where your energy flows. But the thing that I think that is really important to know is that you don't have to have all the answers or have the plan right now. You don't. All you need to know is what it is that you're wanting to become or what you're wanting to achieve, and then take baby steps towards that. And sometimes the very first step with going in that direction is Googling. Literally, how do I help coaches achieve diamond? Or how do I pay off this? Or whatever it is that you're wanting, so that you can start making that step to move forward. And then just being really forgiving of yourself when you maybe like veer off track a little bit, or you have a setback. Just say, no, that's not going to define me. My goals are bigger than this hill. So, but no, it's real. I've seen it happen over and over again. I've also seen it happen with just how you deal with situations. You can always look at the good, or you can look at the bad every single time. And if you choose the bad, it just starts to spiral you in a suck cycle of negativity. But yeah, this is one of my favorite calls we've done, Veronica. I think you did a great job. Lots of good content.
Oh, thank you. Christy, are you on? Can you hear me? Will you unmute?
Yeah.
Okay, so Christy, I have to give credit to Christy. Had she not called me back in March, like I never would have known about this. And Christy, why don't you just share what you're doing with your vision board real quick? This is one of my coaches. She's awesome.
Okay, so can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so back in March, my sister bought a class for us to go to see. His name is Kirk Duncan, and it's with 3 Key Elements, and it's in Utah. But anyways, I had never done really anything with vision boards, and I was kind of thinking it was all weird and kooky, like Veronica was saying, right? But I kind of was going through about a 3-year period of like depression and just not getting anywhere in life. And then I started doing Beachbody, working out, doing my workouts, doing Shakeology and everything. And I was kind of still struggling doing all of those things. But then I did this vision board training, and bam, like it made all the difference. And I really loved seriously, you guys, Veronica did an amazing job at teaching this today. It was awesome. This is exactly what he talked about. But one of the biggest things for me was like what Emma said, don't just sit in your bed and be like, yeah, I'm awesome, and today I'm going to kill it. Wow. Right? You got to get up there. You got to look at your vision board. You got to be like, no, I'm going to do this. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to be amazing, and I'm going to do all these things. And then doing your affirmations, do energy. So my husband, he is doing this with me. We actually read Miracle Morning. We're actually doing Miracle Morning every morning, doing our power morning routine. And he is in the shower, and he's got this epic like Lord of the Rings music on, and he's yelling. You can hear him at every part of our house. He's yelling his affirmations. Do you guys know he has lost like 35 pounds? He is killing it. He is doing so good. We're getting all of these things that we hadn't ever thought we would get before. And so this is awesome stuff. I really totally agree with everything she's saying. And don't wait to make it perfect, ladies. Get up there, get it on the wall, print off a picture of something you want, stick it on your wall, and start looking at it. And it's going to do amazing things for you.
Thanks, Christy. That was awesome. Yeah, I'm grateful. Like I said, be open to opportunities that come your way. You may not know what it is or what it looks like or how it will help you, but like be open to those. Just think to yourself, okay, what is going on around me? How can this benefit me? I found a song. This isn't the one I use, but it is, we'll give you an example, but that Lord of the Rings style, like just epic music. Get on YouTube and like just search epic and see what comes up. See what speaks to you, because honestly, music is so big. It's so big. Like, could you ever do a Shanti workout without music? Heck no. I'd be like, no more push-ups, like no more burpees. Like, but if you have music, like you can push through. Well, the same is true here. It's because our minds are like, yeah, I want some music. So here's one. Like, I just got on YouTube. Can you guys hear it? I don't know if you can. Can you hear that music? Like, just put it on while you're looking at your vision board. Like, don't you just get excited? It starts to build. Like, it's amazing. So go find something that works for you. Like, I love Lord of the Rings, but anyway. Okay, so that's just an idea, but, find something that works for you, because music is huge, huge. So anyway, that's all I had tonight. If anyone else share, I'd love to hear about your experiences, but let's see what we put on our vision boards and see what happens, and that's in all aspects of our lives. So anyway, that's all. I'm sorry.
You guys did awesome. Or Veronica, you did awesome tonight, and you got the others that contributed. Thank you so much for sharing your thoughts and ideas. I would love to see your vision boards, and so let's have a deadline of Friday of when everybody should get them done by, and post it in Soar Nation, and that way we can hold each other accountable. Or even you could post in our group, like to hop on a Zoom and do a vision board making party together, and that way you have that set hour when you just knock it out and get it done. Because I want you to achieve everything that you are dreaming about, the things that keep you up at night. But the only way that you're going to do that is if you have a clear focus and plan of what you're going to do, and then you start affirming to yourself that you can do it, that you believe that you can do it, that the universe and God are in your favor. They are working with you for you. So yeah, anyway, if you all have any other questions, feel free to message Veronica. For the new coaches, please hang on the call. Talk to you soon, guys.